You feel like the Alaska series was the next step in the right direction?
Well, the Alaska series was our next opportunity to play since we hadn't played in 14 days. So I know we've been asked the questions before about what we were going to get in Alaska. Were we going to get rust? Ultimately, I think looking back on it, it worked as we hope it would work. It stopped the momentum of the Ferris weekend and the Michigan game. Ferris weekend, we played some good hockey. The results were bad. Michigan game, we played poor, and the result was poor. A lot of reflection, a lot of talking, practice. The momentum we have now is positive. The vibe around our team is positive. I don't know. We played more consistent. When we played our best, it was just like we played our best earlier in the year, but the results were better. I thought Andrew Hammond stepped up and showed some leadership in the third period on Friday night. I thought our guys showed some guts coming back from 3-1 on the road Saturday night. I do think there's a little bit of positive, a little bit of momentum created, but I want to underline the word little bit because it was 2 games. We obviously have a really strong opponent coming up, but it did work as I think a stop of negative momentum in terms of games and results, and hopefully a start of positive.
Will you just talk about overall the way that Andrew played this weekend? What does it mean for him from, I guess, a confidence standpoint to get to?
Well, and Andrew knows the way I feel about it. The way he played in the third period Friday, he was an All-American. He made 5 or 6 saves to go along with the saves that he should have made that he probably had no business making. And then Andrew will tell you, the first puck on goal Saturday hit him in the glove and dropped and went in the net. And that should have been caught. So, no, he gathered himself, but Andrew's a senior. This is what we expect from Andrew. He gathered himself and played a pretty good game. And the issue has been good or very good to great. That's been the issue. That is still a work in progress. He was great in the third period. Was he great periods 1 through 6 on the weekend, or 7 and then the shootout? He only let in 1 goal in the shootout. I thought he was very good this weekend. Again, there's still a couple of pucks he'd like to have back, and I agree with him. What he did that impressed me the most was just the way he basically put the team on his back. We couldn't get a shift to have any momentum on Friday night in the third, and he just kept making saves. And I'm talking about big-time saves. So that was where we were most proud of him, because he showed that senior leadership that we've been asking him to show. In terms of his game specifically, where is it? I still think it's trying to go from very good to great.
We talked about the penalties Saturday night. It seemed as though, I'm not going to point out exactly what periods, but there were a couple of times where there was just undisciplined penalties. Did you feel that way? They were undisciplined?
Absolutely. We had 2 penalties on Friday. They were 0 for 2. And then we have 8 on Saturday, including a 10-minute misconduct, which we don't allow that. That's absolutely not acceptable. A mouthing penalty and get a 10-minute misconduct, and that's been addressed. The other one that comes to my mind is the Salvos penalty on the goaltender. That happened 200 feet from our net, and we were already short a man. That put us down 5-on-3 in a game that we were just trying to stay in it. Not with our play necessarily, but with the score. And our opponent they were coming hard. Undisciplined. And we've been pretty disciplined from start of this first half to now. I haven't been upset with our discipline in terms of a consistent overall body of work. Saturday was not very good. That sometimes is the case. Just when you get a weekend series, the one night there's no penalties, the next night there's a bunch. I think there was a bunch deserved by us. And we have to find a way. We want to play on the edge, but we don't want to go over the edge. Over the edge, you're out of control. You're bringing undiscipline into your game. We want to play the game hard, but disciplined. So it was a disappointing the way it played out. It gives your penalty kill an opportunity to step up, which I think they did for the most part. But we have to be way more disciplined than that, and we have been. So I have no reason to believe that's not going to stop right away.
Does it mean you get 3 goals both nights for?
Well, it means it means our offense is struggling. I mean, big picture wise,
Right.
it takes so much pressure off everybody when you're able to score. You asked me about the power play over the weekend. When the power play is scoring, it just takes so much pressure off people 5-on-5. When the power play isn't scoring, when you're not scoring 5-on-5, then Andrew or Scott or Tommy Burke, they feel like I can't let in one goal. That's not a way a goaltender should play. They should just play, and if one goal goes in, well, they're okay. If two goals goes in, they're okay because they know the team is going to score goals in front of them. We haven't proven that, obviously, consistently. 3 goals back-to-back nights. At 3-1, most people that have seen this team for a while they're done because they don't score. They score 1.5 goals a game and they've already given up 3. Well, it was nice to see guys step up. Our 5-on-3 execution was excellent. Now our 5-on-4 execution right away was bad, right after the 5-on-3. But to see what we did with the 6-on-5, and we've worked on that a bunch this year, I thought our guys looked like they weren't going to be denied, and that's the type of desire, the type of focus, the type of push we want to have. We're not going to be denied, and ultimately a good thing happened. So it was nice. I think it takes pressure off everybody when you're able to score some goals.
What are the elements of power play that you like that have generated the increased zone time?
I like the intensity, and I overall, I think we're taking what the game is giving us more. It starts with intensity because what we were doing for most of the first half is chasing our tail around because we didn't have the puck on our stick, and the penalty kill was outworking our power play. Now our power play started to work harder, which has in turn led to more zone time. Then you have to take what the game gives you, which I think our guys are doing. Now we're starting to demand results. We being all of us, the guys on the power play, the team, the players, the coaches, we want to see results on the power play. Yes, we were 1 for 5, but it was a good one. It brought us to 3-2, got some momentum going. We weren't able to score Friday, but again, we thought we had zone time, we had chances. The message to the power play on Saturday was, that's great with zone time, and that's great, we're getting chances, but we want results. Don't settle for opportunities and zone time. Settle for results, and you have to find a way to make that happen. So that'll be the constant push until we start getting the results consistently that we want.
What's Notre Dame doing very well with?
Their depth is basically showing itself. I think everybody knew last year their team on paper was better than their results, and outside looking in, it seemed like that intangible. What were they missing? It wasn't players, it wasn't veteran, it was something. Well, whatever that something was, they've gotten it. You look at that junior class is Tynan's group and Lee and those guys, and obviously that's a pretty talented bunch. And as freshmen and sophomores, it's hard. As a junior, you've kind of been there and done that. But when you look at their lineup, it's just the depth. It's Lucia scoring, and he's a freshman. It's Fogarty scoring, and he's a freshman. It's Jeff Costello scoring. Steven Johns is scoring, a defenseman. Russo is second on their team in points. He's a defenseman. The goaltending issue that everyone's always said, well, they don't have any goalies. Summerhay seems to have put that to bed. So the depth of their team at all positions seems to be coming to reality that we always thought was there. I mean, we've said this before, Union, Michigan, this team, that team, we've played teams that are really, really good before. I'm not sure if we played teams that are this deep before. They on paper are really, really good. And that's, our guys know that. We've played them before. We played them 4 times last year. We're playing 4 times this year. Our focus is more on our game, being ready and in the moment to do things with a purpose and details and all that stuff. And just like anybody that's really good, Notre Dame will expose you if you're not that. If you're not ready to be disciplined, if you're not ready to take care of the puck, if you're not focused and in the moment every shift, they will expose you because their depth is just, it's really good. So I think that's what's going on is all the things that they always have had. It's all starting to come together this year, and their record indicates that. But it's not an overly surprise. I really felt like this year's Notre Dame team was going to be strong because some of those younger guys that have been going through the growing pains are now more veteran guys, and they've been through lots, and it's starting to pay off for them, it looks like.
You've had, what, 3 pretty good penalty kill games now.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you like about that?
I think we've tried to create a little bit of a chip on our shoulder as a penalty kill unit. I mean, obviously, I think our penalty kill, Kevin, hasn't been consistently bad. The number is nowhere near where I want it, but in terms of our percentage, we've had a couple of really bad games. The Michigan State game comes to mind, just four goals, just killed us. I don't think it's been bad. We lost that edge. We lost the chip on our shoulder when you go out there in the penalty kill. I think somehow, some way, we've gotten it back a little bit. I don't want to overstate that because we've got a big-time power play coming in this weekend, and we have to be ready and on the edge and sharp. But there's always opportunity to improve and to take pride in our penalty kill unit. And I think some guys have wrapped their arms around that. I like our overall execution as of late. I think it's been pretty good. The one goal they scored Saturday was off the rush, and obviously our forecheck execution wasn't very good, but it wasn't like an in-zone thing that totally blew up. It was a forecheck where we made a poor play at our blue line, and they made a good play. So 8 opportunities is way too many, so I also like our discipline. So you're killing off 3 or 4 versus 8. That's not fair to ask anybody, but so that's. But I think our execution's been better. I think our overall discipline's been better, where we haven't had to kill multiple, and it's been okay. So we need to stay with that mindset, with a chip on our shoulder, that we're going out there and there's no way they're scoring. And it's another one of those mentality things where we're not going to allow them to score a goal. That's all there is to it.
What's enabled Mark Cooper to come in and score and play well?
I think Mark Cooper is he's a really smart player, and I think that helps. What he lacks in strength right now, he can make up for in his hockey sense. He goes to the right areas on the ice. He does the right things an awful lot. I think his skill package is pretty good. Obviously, he's a big body. His shot, to me, is probably underrated. He can really shoot it. The 5-on-3 goal Saturday showed that. Like, it was a bomb. It was a good shot. There's just lots I like about his game, but it starts with his hockey sense. I think he thinks it on a little bit of a different level than a lot of people on the ice, and that can sometimes make up for a lack of strength. And the reason I say that is just because he's a freshman. He's a big, lean body right now, and he's still got lots of work to do to fill that out, and he's doing it. That'll improve his skating as the legs and the core get stronger. Obviously, his battle level is one that has improved, and as you get stronger, your overall battle execution gets better because you're stronger. And the other thing that I think Mark Cooper is he's willing. He's willing to come out of his comfort zone. He's willing to take the coaching. He's willing to watch tape and do what he needs to do to improve. He's not one of those kids that says, "I've got all the answers. I'm going to do it my way." He's listening, and it's, sometimes that's not easy. You get away with things in junior that you can't get away with here because you're scoring at such a high level that, you don't have to fight for pucks, or you don't have to work in the weight room. He does those things because he knows it's going to make him better. So I look at that as a willingness, and I think that's a big part of why he's been successful.
And I think you're playing Notre Dame Saturday, Tuesday.
Yeah.
And I think you had said Notre Dame has an academic function Friday or something.
Well, yeah, I think it was just something their school had said to Jeff, we don't want you playing a game on that Friday. It wasn't really that big of a deal. I mean, it's exam week anyway. It was one phone conversation back and forth, and it was done. So, I heard Coach Orr talk yesterday that BG has a school policy that you can't play games the week of exams. So I'm not sure if Friday night is exempt from that, and it's like Monday to Thursday night. So it never got to the point where maybe it was a Bowling Green rule as well. It just Jeff had called and said the powers that be at Notre Dame said they really don't want us playing a game on that Friday night. Maybe because they were going to have to leave Thursday, and there's exams Friday. So we just very simply moved it and pushed it to the Friday night game of the second half.
And then when are your guys due back after break?
They're due back the 26th. We've asked them to be back by 6 p.m. for an 8 p.m. practice. We've, obviously got a little bit of a short turnaround with the game on the 29th, and then a week, and then the 2 games on the 4th and 5th. So I think it's a great break. They're dismissed the 15th, which most of them will get home sometime on the 16th, and they've got till the 26th. So that's lots of time for them to decompress and be with friends and family and just relax a little bit.
How's that?
Any injuries?
No new injuries. Sloan's starting to hobble around a little bit better, and Clutch and Tate are status quo. That's it.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay.
Feel like the 4 points will ask another step in the right direction and getting the thing turned around.
Yeah, it's definitely a positive. We went in there with some time off and got some rest, and it was good after that break to get back on the right track.
What do you guys have to do to keep that going now with Notre Dame coming this weekend?
I think just build on that momentum. It was a good weekend. We fought hard. We battled back on Saturday's game, and we can continue using that momentum positively. I think we can build on towards the second half of the season, and obviously Saturday against Notre Dame.
So the offense is still struggling, but yeah, what did it mean to get the 3 goals each night in terms of the team's confidence and producing some goals?
Yeah, it's good. We've been obviously struggling scoring goals, and we kind of found our way a little bit this weekend. And it's good to finally get a power play goal too, and we can hopefully build off that and bring that forward into the second half as well.
Did you talk about the mindset of the team in the third period? Saturday, you're down 3-1, and just refusing to lose. I mean, was that kind of the approach?
Yeah, we kind of when they scored that third goal, it was obviously a little deflating, but I think we stayed positive on the bench, and then we kind of fought through, and then we got our break on the 5-on-3, and then kind of that's when we kind of got that momentum back and battled back in the last minute. Unfortunate in the shootout, but it was good. It was positive.
What's made the power play better of late? Certainly the percentage isn't where you guys want it, but it's certainly been improved. What are the elements that made that better?
I think just we've been coming out and with a little more confidence. We've been practicing a lot, and we're kind of getting things going in practice, and that's kind of helped us and build our confidence in the games. And then as we're starting to get a lot more zone time and building off that, and now hopefully the results will come soon.
College hockey been what you thought it would be?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Juniors was lots of fun, but college is just that next step. It's real exciting every game, playing in front of fans, and the hockey's great, and it's just it's probably the most unbelievable experience so far.
What's your thoughts on playing a team that's playing as well as Notre Dame?
It's good. It'll test us for sure. It's exciting to have that team come here, and we can put Bowling Green on the map and get back in the standings, get back higher in the standings.
Obviously, you guys have played some elite teams already this year, but when you're playing a team as well-rounded as Notre Dame, what are some of the challenges that presents you guys?
I think you gotta be aware when they're big guys are on the ice. They have some pure scorers, and if we can manage that and match their work ethic or outdo them, we'll definitely compete with them.
Good.
What's been key to your success so far during the first half individually?
I think just keeping things simple and taking taking everything as a learning experience. College hockey is definitely a lot faster than juniors, and just taking everything in and appreciating and working hard, and that's kind of how I go about my days.